This is Brendan and Paul, and you're looking at the brand new Ford Bronco, which just happens to be taller than we are.
This is huge. This is really big.
This thing, you have no idea how truly big the Bronco is, because if you've just seen Bronco Sports driving around, no idea. Those things are tiny compared to this thing, which is taller than me at 6'1". And today we're gonna give you something extra special. We're gonna take this on a full street review. You're gonna get to see everything that's inside and out of the Bronco. But even better than that, we're gonna take it to its native environment.
Are you going off-road?
We're going off-road.
Oh my God.
Yeah, absolutely.
That is so awesome.
Yeah, so we can't wait to show you exactly what this Bronco can do. All right, Paul, right off the bat, I have to say my favorite part of the new Bronco.
I knew you were going to say this.
Yeah.
It's because it's got a 6-speed manual.
No, it has a 7-speed manual.
Oh, that's right, because the C for crawler gear.
Yes,
that's actually pretty cool.
It's very cool. It has a crawler gear for off-road. So, you know, when you just need a lot of pedal travel with not a lot of top speed and a lot of modulation, you put it in C for crawler.
So, like, what's the maximum speed on that?
I don't know. Let's find out.
Okay.
You're supposed to really use this off-road, but the way you get into it, you pull the collar up like you would go in reverse, and you go there. So,
all right.
Let's see. It's about 17 miles an hour.
Okay. All right.
I worship at the Church of the Third Pedal, so this is awesome. They just, by the way, it works great. The shifts are really positive. It's not like a super long throw. It's not super short. It's just, it's like Goldilocks. It's just right.
Yes.
Clutch is very nice and
I was
light.
going to say, when I was parking it earlier, the clutch is very nice.
Very nice clutch. It really, I can't fault this transmission for anything. The only thing is I wish it came with more engines. And that I mean the 2.7 liter twin turbo makes more power. This makes 300, that one makes 330, but a lot more torque.
Yeah.
Although this one is pretty good. I mean, like, you know, turbo spools up, I think it's going. So yes, I hope they put it eventually on the 6-cylinder, and the new forthcoming Raptor that they just announced would be awesome.
The Bronco Raptor, yes, but I don't think it's going to come with it.
No, we're not holding our breath, unfortunately. Here's the other thing that's wrong with the manual, and it's not really with the transmission, it's the tachometer. It has a normal speedometer on the left, right? It's just this analog speedometer. It has a digital center cluster, which shows you your speed, your fuel, which I was getting about 19 miles a gallon in 2-wheel drive. And it has a vertical
I see that
tachometer, and it's really, I'm not used to that at all, and I don't want to get used to it. I just want a normal dial tachometer, and you can't change it. I was hoping that you could go into the menu and fiddle with that, because it is electronic, so maybe they could update that in the future, but that's not my favorite style of tachometer. This is a Black Diamond edition. Okay. The other problem with this.
Auto start on a manual. That is so bizarre.
So if you're in neutral at a light with the clutch out, which is how you should do neutral at a light, because it saves your throwout bearing, the auto start stop will kick in and turn it off unless you turn that off. Now, I do know that there's a $99 device that you can attach to that button in the back, and it will keep it off, because otherwise it just resets itself.
Oh, so it's like an aftermarket part?
An aftermarket part.
Cool.
So if you have one of these and you're tired of turning off the auto start stop, go look for that. But you have a lot of different modes in each. It kind of depends on which one you're in. So with this Black Diamond, you get normal, you get eco, you get sport.
Okay, so there's different modes per package.
Right.
The different Bronco packages are going to come with different modes.
Right, and some of them have a few extras. The higher ones, I believe, have a few extras. In sport mode, it automatically engages for auto.
Okay.
So this is, now we're in sport mode. We were in normal mode before. And you can see there's a little S in the dash that shows you that you're in sport mode. The nice thing is it does also tell you what gear you're in when you are in the manual, and but it's really small.
Okay.
We were complaining about like Challengers and stuff. I mean, like no indication of what gear you're in. This thing is really small. It's there, but it's small. Yeah, I haven't really been able to get much out of sport gear or sport mode that you wouldn't otherwise get out of normal. It seems to be a little bit peppier.
On an automatic transmission, when you go to sport mode, they can change the ratio on when the gears are going to shift or how long it's going to stay in that rev. When you're in a manual, you're controlling that anyway, so
it's all
there's not much. Maybe the throttle response.
There's a little bit better throttle response. I can feel that, and maybe a little bit more mapping in the turbo that gives it a bit more juice. So
suspension doesn't change though.
No, the suspension is what you get, and this is the problem with the Bronco. Guys like me, I have a problem with the Bronco. Well, I don't have a problem with the Bronco. This is the problem with the Bronco. This is made for people like me, people like you, people who appreciate the off-road capabilities of a vehicle like this.
I think I know where you're going with this.
My wife does not appreciate any of that. To her, this is an unsophisticated, crude, just ugly, big, loud piece of machinery. And she doesn't like it. For her, she wants heated seats. Well, this version doesn't have heated seats. You can get them in other versions. She wants, windows that don't rattle when you open them,
Yeah.
And
that's because the doors come off.
The doors come off, right? There's reasons for all it. This thing is if you're doing 70, 80 miles an hour, forget about trying to have a hands-free phone conversation through your CarPlay because it is so loud in here. But that's because the roof panels come off, and this is a convertible. A whole thing comes off.
Yeah.
There are compromises that have to be made in order to do that. The loud tires are great off-road. They're not so great on-road, right?
Yes.
The way that this is even laid out, you can hose this entire interior
Yeah, I
off.
see that. There's actually
drain plugs in the floor.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
But you can't do that with leather seats. So this is marine-grade vinyl. So there are so many things like that.
It's all a compromise.
Exactly.
And if you're a city slicker,
you might not like this car. You should probably really look into it like a RAV4 or something that's,
This is a serious off-road machine.
Right. And that's kind of why they made the Bronco Sport, is for people who want something a little more refined and not so much truck. This is an off-road vehicle that you can drive on the street.
Yes.
It is not a street vehicle that you take off-road.
Correct. And that's the biggest difference between the Bronco and 90% of the other CUVs and SUVs out there.
Absolutely. I mean, look at this. It has a whole slew of auxiliary switches that right now don't do anything, but these are all pre-wired to things like you could do a winch, you could do a light bar, you could do a whole bunch of other stuff.
The top and one in the front,
Right. They don't put these in Lexuses.
No.
So it's not a refined vehicle. It is not for everybody, and
it's not meant to be.
And it's not meant to be. You do get a display with wireless CarPlay. It's got, that's what I use. I always appreciate a nice big display. This is the smaller one. You can get a 12.3 inch, which is even bigger.
Okay.
But even the small one works fine. There's nothing wrong with it.
This is pretty big.
It looks pretty big, right?
Yeah.
There are other packages you can get with just more stuff. The Sasquatch package will add 35-inch tires and a bunch of other off-road goodies. All right, Paul, how about a 0 to 60 test?
Yes, let's do it. Now you're in too high.
Sport mode.
Traction control is off.
Yep.
Let's go.
There we go. Come on.
And we're at 8.2.
8.2. All right.
Okay, 0 to 60 with the 4 auto. Let's go.
All right. Oh, that was a good launch. Shift's great.
8.1.
Took the 10th off.
Yeah, 10th off in 4-wheel drive.
And I don't think I could launch it much better than that. That was a little bit of wheel spin in the back, and then the front kicked in because it's in 4 auto, and with detect spin, it'll automatically kick in the front. And
okay, so if we take our 0.2 of a second handicap that we've been kind of determining with 2 people in the car, we're at 7.9.
Yeah.
So, which is you know, for a vehicle like this is respectable.
It's
especially,
big, it's
especially
heavy.
the fact that it's a four-cylinder.
It has the aerodynamics of a brick. Literally, it's the shape of two bricks, one smaller than the other, stacked on top. But again, that's not what this vehicle's about. It's about taking off the top and getting off on a
even driving trail. On a beach, or you know, you can have so much fun with it.
Right.
I have to say, I do like where they put the handles.
Yes.
First of all, they're really nice and grabby.
Yeah, you got some pretty good handles.
And they're located in, you know, places where I would want to grab things. You know?
Yeah. Brakes work great.
What an idiot.
We had a little help from the local moronic drivers in the brake test.
And the number one thing for you, it's a manual.
It's a manual. You can't beat it. In fact, I did get a compliment from somebody driving, I think it was a Jeep Compass, who claimed that he had one of the only manuals that thing ever came in, and he was super ecstatic to have a manual transmission Bronco be on the market. This is awesome. Thank you very much, Ford, for saving the manuals. I appreciate it. I know a lot of other people appreciate it. And I think the manual take rate in this Bronco is over 20% is the last number I saw. So a lot of people...
That's huge, actually.
Yeah, for a market that's got like 1.2% manual take rate overall. This is a great addition. I'm glad that they did it, and it's really between that and the Jeep in the manual. I think, hey, competition's great. One's got it, the other one's going to have it, and hopefully they keep doing that forevermore.
Yep. All right, so this package is which one again?
This is the Black Diamond, just like your ski run.
All right, and where does that fall in the scheme of packages?
It's right in the middle.
Right in the middle.
Right in the middle. You start out with just the basic package, and I think it's literally called Basic. Then you've got one that is the Big Bend, and then I think it's Black Diamond, and then you've got Outer Banks, and then Badlands, and then First Edition, and there's probably one, Wildtrack is in there somewhere. Wildtrack is, I think, toward the top as well. You can pick what you want, how much sort of serious off-roading you want to do, what kind of wild exteriors you like, you know, what kind of options you want. So that's the nice thing, is they start, you know, reasonably well around 30, and then they go up. And the Badlands that I would price out as a four-door was running about $55,000. This, as it sits right now, is 40, almost 43, like 42. I think it's like 920 or something like that. So a whole lot. I mean, you're talking $13,000 cheaper.
There's a big range, though.
So what do you not get for that? You don't get a locker, a front locker on your. You have a rear locking differential. You don't get a front locker. You don't get disconnectable rear sway bars. In a manual, for some reason, you can't get the trail turn assist, which is it breaks the inside rear wheel and allows you to basically do 360s off road. You can't get that in the manual, but it's available in the automatic. But that just depending on the package that you get, right? So those are the differences. It's a lot of money for something that like this until you compare it to a Wrangler, which a Rubicon is going to run you in the 50s. So it's right there with
a Jeep. There. Yeah.
And if you like the way a Jeep drives on road, you're going to love the way this drives on road, because in my opinion, it's better than a Jeep.
On road feel.
And off-road, we're going to find out how well this does off-road. In fact, why don't we go roll that tape now?
Hey everyone, this is Paul and Brendan, and we're back.
And this is the off-road portion of our review. This is where we are going to take a Wildtrack version, not the same one that we've been driving on the street, but this is a Wildtrack 10-speed auto, 2.7 liter turbo engine. We're going to take this off-road at Road America, which you thought was just for race cars.
They got everything here.
And we're going to take this one out. The only thing that this vehicle does not have that you can get on the Badlands and on the First Edition is the disconnecting front and rear sway bars. But everything else we have available to us. We've got locking front and rear differential and the trail turn assist, which we're going to use, I think, to great effect. So we're going to get out on the trail and see how the Bronco does. Let's get up over. Boy, that tree's seen better days. Few people may not have made that turn. So we do have to talk about some of the very cool tech in here that helps you when you're off-road. you thought you could just had to look out the windshield, but actually I have a trail forward camera that will help me when we get onto some of these hills to see over the top.
And it shows you where the tires are going to go.
And I have, yes, exactly. So on the 360 camera, both actually, shows me exactly where the tires are going to get placed. So I know that I am not going to hopefully hit anything because I can guide the tires right through the trail
and that's
the ruts.
especially useful for going uphill.
Yes. So,
which we'll see shortly.
Boy. It literally just has, I feel like I'm just driving in a parking lot at this point. I mean, this is a muddy trail. It's rained a lot. And
it's just
like, yeah.
Like nothing.
Yeah, like just another day at the parking lot at your favorite grocery store. Oh. Yeah, there's a nice big one. Boom. This has the Sasquatch package, I believe. Mm-hmm. Yes? Okay, good. Sam from Ford is riding along with us in the back to...
and we have Tim, another fellow journalist.
Yeah.
For the ride.
Representing Mama for us. And without their help, we couldn't do this. Thank you to Ford for basically...
providing the car.
Well, I was going to say making our dreams come true.
Yeah.
But
okay.
If you want to, step it down a little, that's fine too.
I like the dream one.
Yeah, this is awesome. Okay, if you haven't gone off-roading and you just like, this kind of looks interesting. Yes, it's very interesting. It's really cool. You can get into this in a lot of vehicles. We happen to think the Bronco is one of the best you can do that in, and I'm sure Sam would agree back there. Just because it's so capable and it has so much going for it, and it has some great technology. You could take out all these panels. I mean, you could really just enjoy the outdoors in a way that you really just, as much as we love race cars and track cars, like, you've got to go to a track. You got to, it's fun, but it's a lot of work. It's a lot of money. Whereas there's trails all over this country that you can get out on. You don't have to change your tires. You don't have to do much anything other than hose it off at the end of the day. And a lot of
you don't go through brake pads and tires and everything else.
Yeah. But if you do find yourself wanting to do something fun in a car, there's really only two, well, maybe three, but two we'll talk about. You can get on a racetrack with a track-capable car. We did that here at Road America yesterday. It's so much fun. You just will never regret learning how to drive on track and then taking your car out there. It's just a blast. This is the other thing. Getting off-road, getting in nature, going to places that cars really don't belong and haven't been, getting you out into places that you wouldn't otherwise be able to get to without taking a really long hike, and it's camping, and it's great. I'm really glad that going off-road and getting outdoors has taken off
since the pandemic.
Well, especially since the pandemic. And there's so many great vehicles that you can do that in, and there's no excuse if you want to go out and have fun on
it's definitely
off-road trail.
Right there. Right there. Right. There you go. There you go. There you go. Now hard tap.
Should turn this on, I think, right?
Right there. Passenger.
Excellent.
There you go. Nicely done.
Thank you. And that trail turn assist worked beautifully that time. It basically just, we've seen it demonstrated for us at Motorbella, and almost it will turn the car just in a circle, just like spinning the top. And it's really, really cool. I've never seen that on another vehicle, and it works well.
Yeah.
All right, so here are some very muddy ruts. And we're doing this all in 4 high with no lockers on either, by the way.
Yeah.
This is impressive. We haven't had to use 4 low, haven't had to turn any lockers on yet. We will. But so far, so good. It really just drives nice and easy. Whatever that was, I'm not worried. Because we got skid plates, right, Sam?
We do.
Yes, okay.
Well, without them.
No, yes. Not if you value oil in your engine. But here's where the camera is really going to come into play. So I'm going up this hill.
You can't see anything,
but I can see only through here, not through the windshield. So let's say, you know, you're going up this hill, can't see over your hood, but I can see right there. Oh, we got a lot of rocks, right? So I'm gonna go down nice and easy. The angles of departure and ascent really help the Bronco get through without crashing into anything, like your bumpers.
Just makes it look so easy.
You know, the good thing about this is Ford didn't half-ass it. They could have just thrown this together and not put the work that would need to go into it to make it.
They still would have sold 1 million of them a day anyway.
But people would have taken them off-road and stuff would have got stuck or broken or whatever. And then real quickly people would have been like, nah, this is a poser vehicle.
Yeah.
It's not that at all. This is a true off-road vehicle. We've driven a lot of Jeeps off-road. Yeah, I mean, this
is great.
It's doing the job. There is nothing here other than a true off-road vehicle. And yeah, this is amazing. So this is going to be a fun torture test. If we had disconnecting sway bars, this would make this a lot smoother, but let's see how this does. Go that way. Let's get that rear locker. Oh, look at that. See, we were stuck a little bit at the rear locker. Boom, done. And it's a button right there.
Yeah.
Couldn't be easier. I don't have to fiddle with any knobs or switches or levers or just.
And they put them right where you could easily get to them.
Yeah. In fact, your passenger could do it for you. So, Paul, there is a trick little feature in here.
Yes.
I'm going to push this button right here, which enables one pedal driving. Which, like an electric car, you let off the gas, and it'll just stop. There's no creep. There's no idle torque converter. I'm going to put that rear locker on. Thank you very much. I'm going to use our trail cam. See what's on the other side of this hill. So with the one pedal, whoop, I don't go over too fast. Okay. I will say it's hard to finesse with that on. I'm going to turn that off. That's a little easier to finesse with. Although you will go a little faster. There is hill descent control.
Trail control.
Look at that. It's amazing. It's like a drift mode. This is crazy. Check it out. My feet are not touching anything. I have set cruise control for a trail drive. I set it at 4 miles an hour. I can move that up just using the cruise control button or down. That's, down to 3. And you can control your speed going up or down things. This is wow. I mean, when I say the tech in here is just crazy.
I mean, they put some serious thought into off-road capabilities.
And not even just capability, comfort and ease of doing this.
Yes.
This makes it easy to do this.
It makes it so easy.
I mean, if everything was mechanical, you'd have to have maybe a little experience, more skill. This makes it easy for beginners to get out and just enjoy the vehicle and enjoy the trails. I'm just staring. This is so fun. This is crazy. I mean, normally, if you try this in your car, try to engage cruise control at 8 miles an hour, see what happens.
No,
it won't work.
It won't work.
You need to be going like at least 20. The fact, and the trail cam is on at 8 miles an hour. Usually that turns off at 5, but since we're in, I think rock and mud and ruts, there we go.
Try trail turn assist around.
And go to trail turn assist. Turn the wheel. Nice. There's a big rock there. Yes, I see the rock on my camera.
You want to see it go that way, yeah.
Toward the rock. Okay.
Yeah, towards the rock.
All right. Trust my trail guide. Well, that is the off-road portion of our review of the Ford Bronco.
It just makes it look easy.
Yes. So back to the street review. So Paul, how was off-roading?
That was actually amazing. I was very impressed. Very, very capable.
I'm blown away with how easy Ford makes it for beginners.
Yes.
Because you've got the basically cruise control for off-road. I've never seen anything like that before. You've got all these amazing features that are accessible by just a switch. You push a button, boom, you got your rear locker on. If you need your front locker on.
It really made that trail so easy. It makes a beginner like us look like experts.
It does. It really makes you look way more capable than you are. And that's the great thing. And you can do that with that Ford off-rodeo, just like Jeep has Jamborees. You can go there. You don't even have to drive your own Bronco. You could drive theirs and just learn about it.
That is cool. That is absolutely cool.
Very cool. And I think we could say overall, look, if you're not somebody who is looking for a refined SUV to take to the club, if you really like off-roading, if you really like adventure vehicles,
you want something serious.
Right. If you don't mind compromise to get those serious off-road and bona fides,
absolutely,
then you got to look at the Bronco. And while you're at it, look at the Wrangler as well. These two vehicles have to be cross-shopped. I wouldn't look at one without looking at the other.
Correct. And they're both great, but one is going to stand out as being better than the other, and it doesn't necessarily mean that what is better for me is going to be better for you.
Exactly. You're going to know it when you see it. You're going to drive them, and you're going to say, yes, this is the one for me. And that's the beauty of competition. I'm so glad that Ford decided to enter that competition space, and that they brought such a capable vehicle.
Truly capable.
Because we could be driving a Chevy Blazer. Chevy's got some work to do. This has been Brendan and Paul with Sons of Speed, and we'll catch you next time here on Weeder Motor Driven.
Take care.